Hello, I'm Lawrence Chard. Welcome to our Chards Coin and Bullion Dealer YouTube channel. Hello, I'm Lawrence Chard. Welcome to our Chards Coin and Bullion Dealer YouTube channel. The last couple of videos that I've presented have been about fakes, and we thought, great, today we'll make a change and we'll talk about something else. But it doesn't happen like that. And guess what? These turned up. The other day we got 40 sovereigns turned up for buy-in, and they were all fakes. Well, that's interesting because we don't always get 40, and if you're a subscriber, you've probably already seen that video. If you're not a subscriber, you could subscribe now just in case you like this, and you can cancel it later as you like. And at some stage, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. And you can always ask questions. We do invite comments. So, most days on the radio recently, I've been hearing a song that's going to be in the Eurovision, hopefully in the Eurovision final. And it's What the Hell Just Happened. But when these turned up the day after the 40 fake sovereigns, we went, WTF just happened. And that's hence the title of this video. Now, of course, we're not being rude or crude about that because we're highly professional here at Chard. So it doesn't mean what that just happened. It means, 10 fakes? The fake sovereigns were 20-odd thousand pounds worth or something like that. And then the very next day, these fake bars turn up. That's about £25,000 worth. All fakes. The sovereigns that turned up were actually gold, so that was good news. The bars are all fakes. And even in a capsule from this sort of distance, you can see the fakes. It just looks awful, totally wrong. And if you're in any doubt, 1 ounce gold bar, 1 troy ounce, that's 31 point something grams, should weigh about 165 metric carats. Even in the capsule, this is underweight. So if you knew nothing about gold or gold bars, you could put them on your scale and go, that's too light, even in the capsule. Surprised me because I thought, it's not that much under, but surprisingly, the capsules weigh about 8 grams. If we put the bar on this scale without the capsule, what we come into 118.63 carats, or call it 120. That would be about 24 grams, and it should be just over 31 grams. So it's miles underweight. It's underweight by something like 24%. Anybody ought to be able to tell that that's a fake. So then we'll come to looking at the actual bars. We'll show you some pictures. We'll show you the front side and the back side. I'm not showing you my back side, that's all right. We normally call it the obverse and the reverse when it's a coin, but it's a bit different when it's a bar. And we hope that if you're watching this from home or even on your mobile, you'll be able to tell that looks awful. Firstly, the colour's a bit wrong. Second, it looks a bit clumsy. And it's got bits on it that shouldn't be there. This one's even got a big chunk of a dent on there. But it looks like somebody, it looks very shiny. It looks like somebody's got a wire brush and just brushed it up to make it look brighter and shinier. Why anybody would make a fake that bad, I don't know. And when it is that bad, why anybody would buy it and not realise it was a fake, I don't know. There's 10 of them, so there's 8 there. I've got 1 in there, 1 here. While we were, I think when we were actually shooting our video about the 40 fake sovereigns, I happened to be looking at these in a short break, and I showed one of these to one of our customer service team. And she's not a coin expert or a gold expert, but I just showed it like that. I said, Leslie, do you think it's gold bar? And she burst out laughing. She'd only seen it for that long. And she was laughing. What are you laughing at? Having me on, or kidding me? That doesn't fool me. So somebody that's not an expert had just instantly sussed out from, feet away that it was fake without having to have a hard detailed look. It just looks so awful and childish and cartoonish. Anyway, there you go. So 10. So of course, the next thing is somebody phoned the sender and tried to nicely break the news to him that these bars, I don't think we even said the fake. I think we said they're not genuine. The day before, the sovereign customer, he was astounded that they were fake, but then delighted when he found out they were gold, so he hadn't been completely ripped off. But this guy just said something like, "Oh, that's interesting. If you thought you'd got £25,000 worth of gold bars you were about to sell, and somebody phoned you up and said, they're fake, wouldn't you say a bit more than, oh yeah, well, interesting, oh really, or whatever he said, very nonchalant." And our quick conclusion is, he must have known, or what's going on. But he'd already arranged to send us another 10 the next day, which is the day we received these, and we said, oh, don't send them, stop it, refuse the collection, don't send them. But for some reason, he decided to send them anyway, and they turned up here the next day. So after, 10 fakes? It's 20 fakes? Because, we've got another 10 of them. Now, I've got to say, I haven't actually tested these yet, or looked at them closely, but somebody else has, and we know they're going to be fake. Well, while I'm at it, anybody want to guess what they're going to come out at? It's supposed to be fine gold, so it should say 999 or 9999 gold. Here we go, that's the magic button. Here we go. Oh, gold, not present. 0 carats gold. Top reading, copper, 72.6%. I think it ends up being about 74. Then zinc, and then nickel. So these are brass. A copper-zinc mixture, about 75-25 or something like that, is brass. Often they've got other metals included with them. In this case, it's nickel. I don't know quite why nickel, but there you go. One quick thing, test that we sometimes do, not often. Test them with a neodymium magnet, and no, they're not magnetic. Some fakes that are made in China, particularly so-called silver coins, are actually magnetic, which is a bit of a clue. So the only good news about these is they're not magnetic. What we're coming out at, nearly 60 seconds. Nothing much has changed. 72.3% copper. Oh, there's a tiny trace of iron showing in there. We'll test that. So you've got the details there. 72.35% copper, 16.88% zinc, 10.75% nickel, 0.02% iron, nothing else that's noticeable. So that's obviously wrong. We have tested a couple of them. We flipped one over and tested the other side, of course, but we know we're going to get the same results. Every single bar is almost identical, except some have got some knocks and scrapes that others haven't got. I happen to be wearing, we're all different t-shirt on, and that's usually reference to the fact that we as a team are all individuals, we're all different, our customers are all different, and every day is different. But in the case of these bars, they're not different at all, they're all the same. So we've tested that one. Now, as I said, I haven't actually looked at the ones in here. Now, the big technical challenge for me is, can I get the capsule open? So there you go, about a 5-minute struggle, got one out of the capsule. It looks just as bad as all the others. It's going to weigh about the same. What was the other one? Yeah, the other one was just under 120 carats. So, about 24 grams. And if we weigh all the rest, they're all going to weigh the same because they all look like identical. They're all made in the same factory, probably in China. We'll put this on here. Actually, a complete waste of time, this, even testing this, because we know what it's going to be. It's going to be brass, just like the other one. It's going to be between about 70 and 75% copper. I don't know why you're watching this video, because you know what the result's going to be here. And while I'm at it, I've already had a complaint. Actually, it was the last one. Somebody was complaining that I'd got a t-shirt on showing underneath a sweatshirt, and it was distracting her, and that's all she could look at, that instead of the video. So today I've not done that and deliberately left it so there shouldn't be too much to distract you. We thought of shooting this one topless, but don't worry, I'm not going to do that either. Let's see where we're going. Yeah, very similar result to the last one. So pretty consistent. In fact, I think that's got a bit more zinc in and a bit less nickel, but I don't think that's going to make much difference. They are still brass, probably from a different batch. I'm pretty sure we haven't heard back from the customer, seller or whatever of these yet to learn any more. What he wants to do with them. Haven't found out where he's bought them from or anything. So that's a mystery. Hopefully we'll solve that mystery sometime, and we'll try and let you know in future. If you pop things down in the comments, we can try and answer them. So in 3 days, we've had 3 lots of fakes that would have on the face of it been worth about £70,000 or £75,000. It happens to be just another day. The good news is today that at least another 10 1-ounce fakes haven't turned up. It doesn't mean we haven't got any, because I've got some stuff to check soon as we've finished talking on this video, because we've got some other interesting things coming. We could do a video every day about interesting stuff that comes in, but we just haven't got the time. So one day we might find out where our contact, customer, whatever, bought these from, whether he was ripped off or robbed, or whether he's just whether he's bought them from AliExpress or Alibaba and the 40 fakes from China. We don't know. If you buy these from China, I would guess you can buy them for around about £1 or £2, plus some postage. We might find out, we might never know. We will try and let you know, but don't forget, subscribe, and then you might find the answer in a few videos. I think that's about all, folks. Bye for now.
Several days later.
Just before we cap off the end of this video, there was something that we wanted to tell people that we actually discovered after the video was filmed. So over to yourself, Lawrence. What was it that we discovered after we'd finished filming?
Okay, well, one of our team members managed to have quite a nice chat with the guy and asked him a few questions, like where he'd bought them from and how much he'd paid. We only got a kind of half story on who he'd bought them from. We can't actually identify the seller. We will actually at some stage go back and ask him if he's got any documentation or can give us a bit more. But he seemed reasonably happy to tell us that he'd paid £118 each for them. And if you work that out, that's £2,360 in total. And he did say, without prompting, that he thought at that price it'd be stupid not to buy them. You can make your own mind up about that. There's an easy comment. I won't make the obvious comment. I think the guy probably feels a bit silly and sheepish about having got ripped off. I made some notes about this because I'm not going to remember everything. It's typical that fraud and con tricks rely on a couple of things: feed and greer.
Yes.
But that was the best one yet, I think.
I think we should leave that in. That is a spoonerism, because I meant to say greed and fear, but of course my mind's in the way. What am I saying now? Yeah, greed and fear. Fraudsters, con men rely on human greed. The person they're offering the deal to is going to make a lot of money very quickly. Oh, maybe they think they're taking advantage of the fraudster. Maybe he's come up with a hard luck story. Maybe he's made it sound as if he doesn't know what he's doing or doesn't know what he's talking about. So the greed victim, oh, make a big fat profit here. Yeah. The next thing is fear, and everyone's heard of FOMO, fear of missing out. If either of those two things pops up in your brain when you're looking at a deal, walk away from it, because it's almost certainly a con job. Our customer must have thought he's going to make at least £2,000 each on these bars, so over £40,000, close to £50,000 on the deal. It's not realistic. You've got to say, there's an old adage, that if something sounds too good to be true, then it almost certainly isn't. And of course, that sounded too good to be true, and of course, it wasn't. You might ask, why do we publish videos like this? Why do we spend the time and effort? And it takes a long time to do these videos. The answer is, a couple of answers. One, we've always done this. We've always advised people. And with the internet and with YouTube, yes, we can actually spread a message to people. Don't get conned, don't get ripped off. And we do it because we're Chards. We've always done this. We like people, or we like good people, and we try and help when we can. And we intensely dislike fraudsters, con merchants, scammers, and scumbags. So if we can do anything to obstruct the scumbags and help out ordinary, decent people who probably worked very hard to make their money, we will do. If it saves one person from getting ripped off, that's good. If it saves more, a dozen, 100, maybe 1,000, that's even better. So we do what we can. You've heard it here from Chards, coin and bullion dealer. That's all. Bye, folks.